So we're actually just wrapping up, and I was going to share last thoughts with you. This is always the hard part I find at the end of the night, because I have had to like pay attention and not daydream and whatever, like make sure I know what everyone's talking about. Anyhow, as the night went on, I'll tell you, I was thinking about a little girl that I met 2 years ago in a refugee camp in Jordan. So I had the opportunity to do some medical relief work with Syrian refugees in Amman, Jordan. And there was one little girl, her name was Noor, she was 11 years old. Some of you have heard this story before. It was just a quick moment, but it stuck with me and it will stay with me. So she was a little girl who said that she wanted to be a doctor when she grows up, but that she knew it wasn't going to happen because all of the universities and schools had been destroyed in her hometown in Syria. So she was very curious about my stethoscope that was around my neck, and she said, you know, can I listen to that? Can I see what it's like? She figured this might be her only opportunity. So I did, and it was, you know, it was lovely. She had to listen to my heart and her little brother and the lungs and everything. And I'm probably never going to see this little girl again. But I was blessed to have the opportunity, if you want to call that education or inspiration or whatever that was, that I was able to give that moment to her. I don't know if she'll ever come to a country like Canada or how long she'll live in a refugee camp, but all of us in this room, you know, Khalid talked about all the, you know, we don't like to sort of compete and all sort of, we're all doing different things for the same overarching purpose. We're all here in this room, and we have this opportunity to provide education and opportunity to that percentage that makes it into sort of our area. But I don't want that to be something that any of us takes lightly or takes for granted, because it really is a very special opportunity that we all have to be able to help those few who do come to Canada. Thinking a little bit bigger picture, the reality is we live in a bit of a scary world. We have the rise of the far right and these racist movements and white supremacy and all this stuff that we're really struggling with. And many of the people that take the brunt of it is our newcomer population, especially here in Canada, where we've, you know, made it very clear and obvious to the world that we've taken this upon us. And then we're feeling the heat, we're feeling that experience. You know, I've done tons of work with Islamic Relief, and for the longest time, and even up until now, I've always strongly believed that my donor dollar should go overseas and should go to the war zones and the floods and the droughts. And I still obviously believe that that work needs to be done. Those causes need to be continue to be supported because the need is so great beyond our borders. But within our borders, there is such a need as well. And I firmly believe that what we do here within our communities, we can only be as strong overseas and abroad to the extent that our communities are strong here, and that starts with people like us. So, you know, we have the month of Ramadan coming upon us. It's a time of giving, and I don't know, like I know for me, I'm sort of rethinking to some degree what I do in terms of giving abroad versus giving locally, because I do think we need to strengthen our local institutions and community organizations like those that are here today, so that the work that we do overseas can be that much more effective and that much stronger. So with that being said, I think we're essentially going to wrap up. I do want to remind you that you have pledge forms on your table, and there's a tablet there for you to be able to donate as well. And I do want to thank all of you, not just for coming and being here tonight, but for the really hard work that you do day in, day out in your communities. You know, I often, when I have the opportunity, I really do thank those of us who not only choose to volunteer, because if you volunteer with an organization, chances are you probably have a career or a job that is your day job, but to those of you in the room who are actual employees of an organization that works for individuals who are vulnerable in the community, I really commend you for making that choice to work with that organization, because the reality is you could have had a very comfortable job potentially somewhere else, but you make the sacrifice and the decision to work for the betterment of our individuals who are in distress and for the betterment of our communities. So I thank you for that. And enjoy the rest of the evening. I hope you have an opportunity to connect and get to know each other. We have wonderful individuals and organizations in the room that are doing wonderful work, so I hope that that extends beyond just tonight, but throughout the year and the year ahead. Take care. Thank you.